good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. What's the matter? All of a sudden, I need to use my voice. It's deciding to misbehave. Whole day, it's okay, Now to start the program, it want to misbehave. Behave yourself. Yeah, and I'll forget my honey home, Yes, indeed, folks, it is Talking Points, and it is a Monday night. Remember to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend that Talking Points is on. We will be, as we said before, with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Yeah, and you all have to remember, share the thing. Yeah, you all have to share the thing. Right? Nice, yeah. Ooh, yes, indeed. What, boy? Yes. Well, let me see who they, let me see who's on the live, man. Let me see who they. Nice. So let me go here. Nice. So let me do a roll call there. Let me see. Alban Harris, Kathleen Ledlow, Francis, George, good night. Errol Bonaparte, Claude, Abraham, Sandra, Joseph, Hermina Batiste, Shenron Thomas, Byron Frank, Debbie Seals, good night to you, my dear. Janice Mitchell, Ashma Charles, Ann Andrews, Cynthia Bartholomew, Gemma Warwood, Lisha Abraham, Sherma Jeremiah, Wilfred Antoine, Catherine Knights, Baby Daddy, Deborah Laborde, good night to you. Adrian Watts, good night to you and your lovely wife. Faithlyn Hallie Douglas, Theresa Joseph, Shirley Ann James, Alan Jones, good night to you. Michelle and Zoe, Roy Jacket, man, good night, bro. Yeah, Father's Day was quiet, man, extremely quiet. Good Life, Merle Patrick, Carib Spice Fitness, Maud Martin, Anna Lewis, Edmund Callis, Clive Raymond, Bernadette Joseph, Vanessa Lalji, Dolores Redhead, Jenny Samuel, Jackie Raymond, Ezekiel, Veronica Lewis, Rosalind Jones, Matthew Boyne, good night to you. Matthew Boyne, I hear you all getting a heat wave up there, man. Yeah, Jerome Lewis, it was Veronica Lewis, Jerome Lewis, Hillary Joseph, Marilyn Panchu, Amanda Jeremiah, Christine Otley, Dennis Sandy, Dolores Redhead, Patsy Frank, Agnes Henry, Lona Lolo Williams, good night to you. Gillian Noel, good night. Marilyn Ferguson, Gloria Francois, John Stafford, Bonnie Mitchell, Velma Pascal, Fitzroy Philip, Deborah Flanders, Hillary Joseph, I see you there. London Gordon, good night. Rick English, Eliza Bernard, Elsie Peters, Rodney Barry, Oswald Belfont, Public Notice, Agatha Williams, Trajan John, Earl Benjamin Sky, Paul Felix, Stephen Simon. Yes, indeed. I see all of you there, man. Yes. I wonder if I have something for you. Let me see. I think I have something on this side, Yeah, it ain't working on that side, so I feel I have to pull it on this side. Yeah, I think people been asking me. They wanted to hear this one. So let me see if I could pull this one.
There we go.
And folks, the phone lines are open. You can call 440-7377, 347-329-3101.
You divide Grenada and that's no kicks. I don't like it. Politics. Now so many things I will have to fix. So I go fix up them old police station to hold those who murder and rape. Because I'm fed up reading the media about an ex-prisoner escape. And I go fix up all those high prices that most Grenadians can't afford. Instead of demolishing those poor vendors put along the side of the road and leave them balling with them mouth closed. Oh God, baby Jesus is of the blows. Grenadians balling with them mouth closed. The higher the monkey climb is more we expose.
Don't worry, folks on Facebook. I'll come to you in a short while. Good night, Richard and Paula. Good night, Mrs. Marine and Mr. Hudson Macphil.
Blues. My people balling with them mouth closed. Mr. PM, please open up some doors.
Brother Martin, good night to you and your lovely wife.
Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to with grass. Transformation in we mass.
And let me me say a special good night to the listeners via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM. No matter how they try, they won't get the blight. They're trying to stop Real FM. That ain't gonna work.
Politics. Never stop, tell me howdy. All because of politics. Politics. Friend and family turn me enemy. I just say yes, I love the progressive senses, so tell me.
And folks, remember to hit the like button. If you're not yet subscribed to Talking Points, make sure that you subscribe, huh?
Rubbing up the same white boys like a bed bug in the night. But just remember the local workers and make sure that you treat them right. Don't leave them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. They say when you're poor is when you expose. My people balling with them out close.
Good night to all the listeners. Wow, We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Good night to you, Wade.
Grenadians balling.
Lady Fran, all of you that listen via the We Noise, yeah. Say a special good night to you. You know I love you all.
Why the hell you remove the cap from the gas? Transformation in we mass. No what till me tanky can't even last. Transformation in we mass. But you driving wrong in dark tinted glass. Transformation in we mass. When I start to talk you say in a fast. Transformation in we mass. Hey.
I also want to thank all of you that sent your Father's Day greetings yesterday. I was not able to respond directly to each and every person because it was literally hundreds via my private number, hundreds via the Talking Points number, and also via Facebook and even Instagram. People were sending messages, yeah? And some people called directly, everything, but I've been unable to respond to everyone. But just want to thank each and every one of you.
Came right up to me as like he afraid to talk. He said the little work that he get in cultural foundation, they take it back. And how we wish he could have take back his vote. Cause that is one thing he regret. Because apart from all those gallant feds, yes, he they do nothing yet. Grenadians balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is up the blows. You saw put us balling with them out close. But the higher the monkey climb is more he expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is.
You know, let me just start on something here. I was just giving you all a time to get to the magic number for me. Now, there is an issue when it comes to the St. George market. As anyone who knows me really knows me. Some people claim to know me, but people who know me know I'm a guy. I hang out anywhere. I hang out in the market. I hang out on the bus terminal. You'd find me all over the place. That's the thing with me. I don't afraid to go anywhere. I'm going everywhere, right? So here it is. I'm in the St. George Market Square, and Mr. Rat decides he's going to walk up the drain as normal. Now, there seems to be a serious problem with the St. George Market when it comes to the cleaning that ought to be taking place there. Now, I do not know if the problem is that the people who have the responsibility to clean the market do not know what they have to do, or if they have not been provided with the proper equipment to do the job that needs to be done. I don't know what the issue is, yeah? But there is a serious issue when it comes to what is taking place in the St. George Market Square. And let me say a special good night to Ben up there in Rukane. Good night to you, Mr. Ben in Rukane. I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Don't worry, I go drop a tune just now there for you, man. Let me sit down proper for this one. I go drop a tune just now there for you. Yeah. So there's a serious problem. Number one, there's a smell that's coming from there because obviously there are drains that going around with metal railing over them. So different things fall down inside there, and then the wastewater and all of that goes down into the drain. It is not being cleaned or not being cleaned properly. It's either one or the other. Because when you pass there, you're getting a smell from the St. George Market. And mind you, this at a point in time that all the vendors around the town have been told that they have to go into the St. George Market Square. And secondly, they have been told that they would not be able to use umbrellas and so. So those who are selling right now in the market square and utilizing their umbrellas and so, they've been told, no, you have to go into one of the stalls. You're not going to be allowed to use the umbrellas and that sort of thing. So that is taking place there as well. Yeah? So you have all this thing, you have meeting taking place because like they're trying to decide who they're going and throw out and who they're going and keep and all this kind of thing inside there. You have all of that taking place in the market. They had a meeting with them. And again, I'm very careful because I don't want to blame the staff. Because if you are given a job and you're giving directives, the policy has to come from somewhere. So the policy has to come from those who are in charge of the state. They are the ones that create policy at the cabinet level in Grenada. They are the ones who are creating the policy that the staff are being asked to enact. So you have the situation now where the vendors, those that selling on the outside, and so they told, no, you have to come on the inside of the market now. Those who are selling on the edges and so, you have to go on the inside. You have to go inside and sell. And when you go inside and sell, you're not going to be allowed to use any umbrella or that kind of thing. You have to find yourself under one of those booths and them that they have. That is the information that I'm hearing. They've told those who might have owed and different things that they have to pay. But from what I am picking up as well, there is a case where several of the receipt books that were supposed to be there in the market, some kind of funny business seems to have taken place there. That's the allegations that I'm hearing, that some sort of funny business take place, and there were people that paid and receipt book disappear and all sorts of things have happened. And now you're going to some of the vendors and you're telling them that, hey, you're owing X amount of money or you're owing this, when you cannot verify that because receipt books missing. That is what I hear. So I buy, so I sell. So you're hearing these sort of things taking place. You're hearing that how people that were there before are not there again, and that they were basically fired, and that there were several reasons which I won't get into tonight, that those individuals were fired. So I buy, so I sell. It's a fact that the person who was in charge is no longer in charge. That's a fact. I ain't asking all of that. I'm telling all of that. The person who was in charge is no longer there. There is a person who has been there a couple of weeks now that is in charge of the operations of the market. And so now, but there were allegations made against the last person that was there. I don't know if FIU and so is checking. All I would say is that I hope vendors, those of you that sell at the market and pay, and so I hope that you have copies of your receipts. I hope that you keep your stub. Yeah? So I hope that you have your receipts for your payments that you have made. Because from what I'm hearing, the corresponding books that ought to be where they should be, ain't they? And things in a disarray. So I don't know if books fall through crack. I don't know what take place, but so I buy, so I am selling. Yeah? Right. So that is what I'm hearing about the market. What I can tell you for sure, I know when I go there, there is an odor that's coming from different areas in the market because the drains are not being cleaned properly. I think someone sent me something a little earlier, but my thing isn't opening here. But someone sent me something earlier where they had to be cleaning the drain themselves. One of the vendors, one of the people that's paying for a booth there has to be selling. And then you have to ask yourself too, what sort of thought goes into some of the things that are being done? And let me move for a minute off of the St. George Market and go to the bus terminal. I go to the bus terminal on Saturday. So you have people who are vending on the bus terminal. Not just Cami, you have other people that are vending on the bus terminal. They're selling their little drinks. They're selling little snacks, different trinkets, different things that they're selling in the bus terminal. Now, these people have to find the money to, one, pay for the utilities, the electricity and so on a monthly basis. They have to find the money to pay for the booth that they're in. Walk with me here now. They have to find the money. So they have to find the money, whether it's from the business they're operating or elsewhere if they make it in time. They have to find the money to pay for the booth, because if you ain't paying for the booth, eventually they're going to put you out, isn't it? So they have to pay for the booth, they have to pay for the electricity, the water, the different things. Right. Now that is happening. Tell me why the people who control the market have to take these vending machines and put them on the market. What are you doing? You're taking away business from the people who have the rent to pay to you. And I don't know who is in charge or who owns these vending machines, but these vending machines are taking away $1 from the people who are on the terminal that have to make the money to be able to pay for the operation of the terminal. So the people like Cami and Brendan and all these other people are there. They have to find the money on a monthly basis to pay. But yet still you come and you put in vending machine in one instance right across from one of them. So you're giving people another automated option. And you're cutting down the income of the person that has to pay you at the end of the month to retain the place. Now tell me, in what realm does that make sense? What realm does that make sense? That you have people on the St. George bus terminal who have to find the money to pay to maintain their booth. And remember, in some instances, in many instances, this is their sole source of income. So not only do they have to pay you, they have their own things at their home they have to see about. They have their utilities and so their electricity, their water and so at their home that they also have to see about. So they have to see about this stuff where they have the liquor business, and they also have the stuff to see about at their home. And you are cutting their income by putting these automated things. You know, the ones that you just go and you put the $5 in and the drink fall out, you press and the drink come down, and so you go and you put those things on the terminal. What for? Tell me which part of that make any sense. Which grouping sat down and decided that that was a sensible thing to do and to allow that sort of thing to happen? Yeah? No, these are things that you see happening around and you wonder, but these people can't be thinking. Because here it is, the people have to pay, you know. Later, Cami, when she settles, she might call. They have to pay, they have to find their money and they have to pay. So, what it is they're selling, you come and you're selling the same thing. You, the proprietor, the person that owns the property, you come and selling the same thing. So you are water selling, you are juice selling, you have different power, whatever it is selling. You come and you have these automated machines selling that on the terminal. It doesn't matter if it's $5 or $500 it takes from one of the vendors. You're boxing food out of the vendors on the terminal mouth. That's what they're doing. They're boxing food out of the mouth. And there is no way that could be fair. I think we have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good
and
night,
good
Kenny.
night to the Grenadian people. I'm so happy you speak about that.
No, it's craziness. It's
I'm
stupidness.
so happy. And I never complained to you about that.
But it's
I called
stupidness.
Shaggy radio station already and talk about it. You understand? And you have people that say, well, if I don't want, I don't give up there. But I'm glad you speak about that tonight. Son, let me tell you something. These people and them, they just bad mind. And we paying a rent. We paying a rent. They put two outside where the bus come in. I'm glad, Mr. Scott. And I know they're listening. I'm glad I never call and tell you because your program is my program. I never complain to you. I call other radio station and speak about that. And another thing, one of the man that working inside the office get mad with me. Because when you're renting a house or apartment, you're renting the toilet too. Sheldon, we have to pay for the booth. We have to pay for the water. we have to pay for the garbage, and then we have to pay to go and pee. So if you go and pee 10 times, it's $10, $1, and we tenants. We tenants there.
That again is not fair. If you're
tenants,
one of the tenants
and
there,
the man, one of the young man that inside there when I speak, he telling me I go pay for me out. Because I always query about that dollar we going and pay. From them I squeeze it till I resume. Because it's advantage. When you see some civil servants retire and you see a dragging a foot, it's because of things they agree while they're young in the ministry, they end up a kind of way. That is advantage. That is advantage, and none of the other tenants don't speak. So what they say now, I like a lot of confusion because I always talk about that, and it's unfair. It is unfair to us. But I know I have to pay my rent, and when I want to pay, I can't pay me in the booth. I have to go and pay and give them the dollar. But God is good. You understand? You have to pay for the rent. You have to pay for the water. I could show you my bill one of these days. You have to pay for the light. And then you still have to go and pay to pay. So if somebody rent an apartment from me, I have to rent the toilet too. For them.
Yeah, they can't go in the bush.
You understand?
If you're
and in the bush, that tell you there's a rip-off. And the only reason why people like me and others there, because we have really good bills to pay. We have to eat. We have to drink. You know? Yeah? You understand? Yeah. So I don't know. They're just wicked in Grenada. And a lot of them go see trouble. I'm telling you. They go see a lot of trouble when you see they can't work again for the wrong thing they're doing to poor people in this country. Trust me. I'm glad they bring it up. When you speak about it tonight, some of them evil people go say, hey, she tells Sheldon. Thank God I didn't tell you.
But you never talk on it.
And them other tenants, they're very hypocrite. Those who operate in there, they're hypocrite. I don't sorry for them. And thank God I'm in the cuckoos. Anytime they're ready for the place, they have to give me a notice. I don't have a problem. But thank God, Mr. Scott, I'm speaking to the whole. I don't owe them $1. I don't owe them $1. I don't pay me rent. If I sell 50 cents for the day, I put 25 cents to pay them. Because listen to me. Grenada, listen to me. You know what they're planning? The day I can't pay the rent, then they go tell me I got to go. But they go before me. Because right now, everybody they head hot inside it. Things change up inside there, and God don't like dirtiness. They will take advantage of me. And what I don't like, if we get come as a body, everybody that rent in there, and we stand up to them, they would have never have us paying $1. We paying a rent, and you still have to pay $1 to be, and he was telling me, the little forward man, pay the $1. He go just now, Ambrose gone. I remember Ambrose Philip used to give me a hard time. And I said he will leave me and go. So much of them leave me and go there. But he don't go to just now. They have no sympathy for poor people in this country. Just like the lady that had the press conference I knew. This is a woman that forget where she really come from. All of them inside it. That whole cabinet, the commercial cabinet, the whole set of them, are afraid to speak. I don't afraid them. I cleaned the Ministry of Finance for years. I cleaned toilet for years there and send my children to school. I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah? And all this, the whole cabinet, poor people help their parents to send them to school. They forget that. They really forget where they come from. Sheldon, don't worry. Keep your head high. You hear me?
Of course.
Walk with your head high. Don't worry. God is in control. The day coming. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus. Don't bother with them. They really forget where they come from. They forget where they come from. I am telling you that. All of them inside of it. Grenada put their finger in ink and they give them some power and they are abusing the power. The same people that put them there, they forget about these people and making people see trouble. They come in. They come in, but I, Camille Theresa Scott, I am not afraid. I am not afraid of them. I still has got to have mercy on them. Because when you don't custom with this kind of life and you get the opportunity where you live in a kind of life, you could do what you want. They're doing things, but they go sorry later on. And they don't have a child. They don't have a child, you know. Money will never to give up on nothing. Money. If you want a cup of water and you sick, eat the sick. The money can't give a cup of water. They don't have a child. Something wrong with these people, Mr. Scott. I don't care, you know.
Nah.
I know what I'm saying.
This thing could never be right. What's taking place there, man? That could never be.
They
right.
don't have a heart.
And they come in and it's what they're putting it in right in front. You know a person selling drinks. You know that is the person's main source of income.
These people
You
have
come
no
and you put
consideration
it
for
right
people.
in front
They're
of them.
just taking advantage on their own people. And it's people that help these people to get an education. They put one in front of Brendan, but they don't say nothing. So you see, when I say damn good, when I say damn good for them, everybody know God, it's good. Because if everybody put their head in one and we protest about this machine that they have the years, they bring two again, where the bus coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But damn good.
I noticed that. That's why I have to talk about it.
I'm glad you speak about that
There
tonight.
are people there that need to make the money for their families.
None of them is saying nothing. We wanted change and we get change. So let me take it in.
Gabby, later, Gabby, you'll call back.
Wanted. Good night, Grenada.
Yo, give me a call back later, no problem.
All right, darling.
Tell Ollie I know she will call. And the thing is, I did not have a conversation with Cammy in relation to that. I saw it for myself and I say, no, that can't be right. That had to be, no, I mean, just basic common sense. You're renting a place for somebody to carry out a business, and that's what you're doing. Basic common sense would say that you don't do that. Let's take the phone call. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Oh, I think that's an accidental call. Yeah. Just basic common sense would tell you that, no, you don't do that sort of thing. Yeah? Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, good night. Oh boy, I'm not sure what is happening there. I'm not sure what is happening there with that caller. Yeah. So again, what is taking place on the bus terminal with that? Whoever is in charge, whoever board or whoever committee decide that was a wise thing to do, I'm telling all you, that is stupidness. Pure nonsense. Yeah, those machines need to go. If you want to put them somewhere else that hardly have anybody that's selling and so on, but you all have people there that are selling. They're selling the same things that you all have in the machine. You're giving people another option now and taking away money from the vendors. That can't be right. Yeah? And then those of you who are in charge of the St. George Market Square, clean the place proper. Excuse me. Clean the place proper. Even if it means that you all have to get the fire hose and pass on a Sunday and do what you have to do, or at least provide the people, because again, they could have people that have to clean, you know. But if you're not providing the hose and the water, and you're not providing the cleaning agents, and you're not providing the broom and everything to them, if you're not providing them with the proper stuff to clean, they can't clean. And you're telling everybody now that they have to go to the market square, but yet still you're not doing anything to improve the ambience, the aesthetic of the market square. Something had to be wrong, man. Come on, that can't be people who thinking that doing them kind of nonsense. That can't be people that thinking that doing that kind of nonsense. And folks, we are in the month of June, and it is now the 17th of June, and we continue to ask the question because we were told by this administration, I don't know if an announcement has yet been made, but we need to know what's going on with the Marketing and National Importing Board. The Marketing and National Importing Board was closed down. We were told that a new entity would replace it. Folks went home, folks were sent home, all sorts of things take place. And you have a situation now where you said to the Grenadian people that come the month of June, 2 things supposed to happen in June. And I'm going to say it for the whole of June until they do it. 1, we're supposed to hear what is the new formula, what is the new entity that was the Marketing and National Importing Board, because you know they like to just change name. So it could be carrying out the same function with different people and all kind of thing, and they would just name it differently. Same organization, basically same function, just to change 1 or 2 people, but they're going to name it differently because they want to name things so that 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, they could come and say, who they named that? Yeah? Or by the time the end of next year when they're out of power, they could say, well, yeah, we who did name that, you know. I was there when they didn't name that. Yeah? Because they ain't going to be in office by the end of next year. No, they will not be. They go in. Whether they like it or not, they go in. Yeah? 5 years way. 2 terms way. What else do all you? All you feel it, sir? Eh? All you really feel it, sir? All you come inside there, who on plane more than the pilot itself? Yeah? All you come in and all you come in and feel all you get in and next day, all you feel is all you feel Grenadian stupid? What else do these people and them? I hear they talking all kind of nonsense and so. And folks, during this week we had to discuss Grenlec at length, eh? Even before what came out over the weekend in relation to Grenlec. I've been hearing stories, I've been picking up information in relation to several happenings at Grenlec. Resignations, plant manager gone. I hearing something about a certain individual coming and get a big job with hearing things. All I know is I hearing real things with Grenlec. Yeah, come and cut me off. come and cut no. Go down. Yeah, go and cut me off. Right? I hearing things about we had to have a conversation in relation to Grenlec before the end of this week, yeah? Because right now I'm investigating and inquiring. So by the end of this week, I'm trying to confirm the information that I've heard. And therefore, we shall have a discussion in relation to Grenlec before the end of this week. But you only want to hear something? Wait, before I go to that, let me just remind you all of this, huh? And let me just pull these up. So right, yeah. The first one here is, right, that is the annual Tea and Hat Tea Party. And that's going to be taking place on 535 East 19th Street between New Creek and Ditmas from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that's 535 East 19th Street, New Creek and Ditmas from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right, that's taking place on June the 30th. They're going to be having an open bar. And I'm going to give priority to the phone calls. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, good night, bro. How are you?
All right.
Yeah, go ahead,
I just hope that they don't planning to sell Grenlec. Because if they only touch and they say they intend to sell Grenlec, they're going to feel the weight of the Grenadian people. Because I myself will take the mic and go to the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And the people have to come out and demonstrate. Let them feel the weight. You understand me? These people and them, what happened to these people and them? Eh? What happened to these people and them? These people, share them to me, eh? You know how I put these people and them? You remember in the Bible days? In the Bible days, when you have Ahab and Jezebel. Huh? I baptize this NEC government as Ahab and Jezebel, you know. These people turn jackal on the people. And they must have respect for the people in this country here. They must have respect for me. They have no respect. But you see, in all that, Sheldon, I am not blaming them, you know. I'm blaming we the people. Because, number one, they didn't know these people and them. Yeah? They didn't know them at all. Huh? They just jump so and they say they want change and they lie to them. They tell them they will bring the pie from the sky and all sorts of nonsense. And the people in Grenada fall for that. I don't understand. And they say they have big education and big doctorate and all kind of thing. And these people just come, just want to fool them and they vote for them. Come on, man. And look what happened to this country.
Young one,
yeah? You don't see that country right now. It's an ice box. We're not going right, we're not going left, we're not going center. We're just drifting away with the wind.
Manje popo.
Okay, good night.
Manje popo, my friend. That's what they just call it. Manje popo or manje popo, according to which one of the islands you're in. Yes, I was saying you all about the annual tea and hat party that's taking place on the 30th of June. And it's on 535 East 19th Street between New Creek and Ditmas from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. Prizes will be given for male and female, best dressed, $25 for children, $40 for adults, and of course, it's in support of the new National Party. So that'll be taking place on the 30th of June, and I have some others here, Yeah, all right, folks, all you have to remember this one, all you have to remember the bingo. All right, let me see if I could get the thing to play. What do you think? Yeah, man, the bingo thing had to play, man, yeah.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Grenada. Get ready as the new National Party invites all to its 40th anniversary fundraising bingo event. Sunday, July 14th from 5 p.m. at Victoria Park, Grenville. Over $100,000 in cash and prizes to be won. Imagine you can win a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car, $50,000 in cash, plus other fantastic prizes. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. Free buses will be available island-wide. Don't miss it, or you might just see your neighbor driving a Suzuki Ignis. Sunday, July 14th, we're heading to Victoria Park in Grenville for the new National Party 40th Anniversary Fundraising Bingo.
All right, folks. So, yeah, that one I didn't have to say anything. You all see that one. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller.
Good night.
Good night. You can go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah, Mr. Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
When a monkey pointing Grenada here. Because number one, the NDC is not doing nothing, they only studying their own self. And every minute they flying plane, they don't come in with nothing. But when Kit Mitchell to fly plane and he come, they can't walk in there coming with. You only flying plane. Right now, Grenada people have to sleep with their clothes. Because why? The boys and them are working, and when they smoke, they still money with it, and they smoke the weed, they come and disturb other people. So, the anytime have to get work for the people to do, for them to go and disturb people and disturbing school children, all about on the bus terminal, they have to stop at that. Because if they get to work, they only have cars to be doing that. They vote, and they vote for the wrong man. Now, none of them are studying them and them. Them and I'm crying in the after they say the president and they're crying. All the time today in Grenville, they say I vote for them, but not me again. They don't do anything good for them. They got that in children money, they got that in poor people money. Eh? Why they do this kind of thing on them for? You have some people that pay a light bill, that do take things in the shop to eat. By the time they get little money, it's done. I mean, they're advantage, man. They do better than that. One shop and they come out this trip. Boom! on board. Later.
All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
She said one lash a pen, boom, and they out of it. All you watch here. Look, let me put up one of our favorite ministers we're going to put up. Yeah, let me see. Let me hear what we minister had to say. Yeah, minister, what you said? St. John people, good night to all the lovely people out there in St. John, whichever part of St. John you are.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there is more to talk about, but as it relates to the ministry, the hot topic ministry, I am not a flight attendant.
Wait, you're not a, wait, we just want to make sure we hear what you say. Hot topic, yeah, hot topic. Let me see you.
The hot topic ministry, I am not a flight attendant. On my job description, I am still the Minister for Climate Resilience and Environment.
But we would not know that. You have to tell us that in truth, really seriously, you have to tell us that, because the amount of time that the Honorable Minister is out, we actually thought that you were a flight attendant. We wasn't sure what was going on with you. So let me hear you again there now.
Topic ministry, I am not a flight attendant. On my job description, I am still the Minister for Climate Resilience and Environment.
So why you on a plane so regular if you're not a flight attendant? Because it's between the pilot or the flight attendant. That's the people that be regular on the plane. The other people that be regular on a plane is the people that does clean the plane when it reach, and the people that does fix the plane. They don't generally fly, but it does be there with it. So again, Madam Minister, let me hear you again. We just want to be sure that we hearing what you're saying there. All right, let me hear you.
Ministry, the hot topic ministry. I am not a flight attendant. On my job description, I am still the Minister for Climate Resilience, Environment and Renewable Energy.
Yeah, so you're still the minister. Let me close your mouth there. I like to leave all your mouth open. Yeah, we'll bring you back about there. Right, you can see all them PSs. Right, nice. Right, let me hear you again.
But as it relates to the ministry, the hot topic ministry, I am not a flight attendant. On my job description, I am still the Minister for Climate Resilience, Environment and Renewable Energy.
But the minister could have fooled me because, I mean, the volume of time that the minister spends on flights, I think that would have fooled me. Really and truly, that would have fooled me, you know. For instance, let me see if I could check the government gazette. Let me see. We go find out when the minister was out. And let me see. I'll pull it while I'm looking for it. Yeah, I'll put it over. Let me see. Let me see. That is Joseph Andal when he got right. That the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Right. David Andrew acting appointment. Let me see who David Andrew was acting for. All right. Let me see. One more. Right. We want to make sure you could see the thing, right? So, right. Whereas the Honorable Karine Zinel James, Minister for Climate Resilience, all the things she just talked about there, right, has left the state on official business and it is necessary to appoint some other person to perform the functions of said minister, right? Now, therefore, by the virtue of authority vested in me, right, above the Constitution, right. So I do hereby appoint you, Senator, the Honorable David Andrew, to act as minister. And let me see when he act as minister. The 15th to the 18th, the 21st to the 23rd, and the 27th to the 30th. That 3 different trips, eh? So the 15th to the 18th, she was on one. The 21st to the 23rd, she was on another one. And the 27th to the 30th, she was on, and that's just in the month of May, eh? That's just for part of what in May, because for the other half of May, they probably didn't put that one out yet, because what they've been doing is that with some of these travels, they are actually backdating. So they putting it out afterwards to let you know that a minister travel and so on. So you see a lot of these things, you're now seeing it, right? But this is from before. And there's something else in relation to this gazette I have to ask some questions about. Yeah, let me make a note here because I have to ask some questions about a particular issue. There's something that taking place. That way they can go like me. I go ask them kind of question and I go ask it all the time, right? So she's not a flight attendant, but the 15th to the 18th, she was gone. Then she was gone from the 21st to the 23rd. Then she was gone to the 27th to the 30th. That song, very flight attendant to me. That song, very flight attendant to me. Yeah, like it's a flight attendant-ish. Okay, maybe you're not a flight attendant. Maybe you're, what does call them again, an air hostess. I don't know. Yeah, but the bottom line is this. Yeah, your words and your actions are not lining up, minister. Your words and your actions are not lining up. Yeah? So you ain't no air hostess. All right, you're not no air hostess. Let me hear you talk about something else here. I wonder what else are you talking about. Let me see. Let me see. I think the minister talking here. Let me hear for a little bit what she had to say here. Let me hear.
Dependence on fossil fuels. And so what we are doing with that geothermal project now, we are doing the geotechnical studies or the soil studies to ensuring that the assessment is done, to ensuring that the environment is right. And then once that is successfully completed, we are going to go back to the stakeholders again, do our rounds of consultation and engagement with the constituents. And then we are going to start rolling out with the exploratory drilling. Meaning we are not going full in to just dig and say because we have volcanic island, we have geothermal. It doesn't work so. So we are going to do the exploratory drilling first to test to see if we have and how much we have and what we will do. And then we are going to come back to the board to doing the project in a larger scale. Dependence on fossil fuels.
All right. So you hear the Honorable Minister speaking there about geothermal and the importance and, you know, they're doing this study to find out if we have geothermal and all that sort of thing, right? So she's speaking about that they're going to be doing a study to find out if Grenada has potential for geothermal. And let me just point out here that back in the year 2015, a study was done on the island of Grenada in relation to geothermal energy. This came about through a meeting that Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell had with the Prime Minister of New Zealand at the point in time, who invited him on his way from a heads of government meeting, invited him to visit New Zealand and see some of the systems they had set up in relation to geothermal. Now, you would recognize that back in 2015, the sole provider of electricity in the state of Grenada was none other than Grenlec. Yeah? And this study, you see the various people who consulted in relation to it. There were 5 different authors. You can see everything here. We've got the entire thing. This speaks to the type of soil we have in Grenada, the type of rock formations, the age of the rock formations. It speaks to the potential for geothermal energy at various sites, inclusive of the base of Mount St. Catherine that just happens to be a volcano. It gives overall, you see here, they're speaking of the types of rocks that exist in the state of Grenada and so on, the Caribbean region. So it speaks of the type of rocks, the type of topography that we have. And it speaks to various areas in Grenada. It speaks of fault lines that exist in various parts of Grenada. Here it is giving you a diagram. Yeah, a diagram of Mount St. Catherine. The red part is actually the lava flow going to the center of the earth that exists under Mount St. Catherine. You can see Granitang here, and they're showing you the depth of Granitang into the earth's surface. Granitang itself being an extinct volcano. They give you quite a bit of information. They speak to various places on the island. You see them talking about Tufton Hall and all these places here. They speak of various places on the island that have the possibility of yielding geothermal energy. It was an extensive study, fully paid for by the New Zealand government. Yes, so they went through Granitang, they went through Tufton Hall, they went through all over different parts of Grenada. All the information is here. Yeah, all the information you said are going and find. Look, the information is right here. Right? In case you don't know, we're telling her tonight, right? So the information is there. This document also makes reference to documents from the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, the early 2000s. It makes reference to other studies that were done by various other people in relation to the soil types, the topography, and everything here in Grenada. The stage you had to go through was to drill a well. Of course. Yeah, of course. Look, somebody tell me there was in the land picking nutmeg when these same people came through. So when the minister gives the impression, because you see they like to take thing and rename it to give you the impression that it's them that do it. So we had to put a stop to that kind of nonsense. That is why they want to put a stop to this voice. No, hey, I ain't hushing my mouth. Right? So this gives you an example of some of the different sites around Grenada. The type, there's some sulfur sites, different places, and so different hot water areas, and so all of that information is contained in this document, and it makes reference to other documents that are available. So in case the minister don't know, the study you say you're going and do, done already. So the main one you have to do now is drill the well. And the excuse they're using now is that NNP never do it, and NNP was never interested in geothermal energy and solar power, and it took them to come and do it. You lie. No if, what, or but about it, you lie. And I just show the Grenadian people that you lie. It's between two things. You lie or you don't know what you're talking about. I could understand the lie because, you have to try and make yourself look nice. But you see the part about you don't know what you're talking about, that is dangerous for the Grenadian people. Because we could very well find ourselves spending millions of dollars, whether from grant funding or anything else, that we don't have to spend because a study has already been completed in relation to the potential for geothermal energy in Grenada that is so extensive. It speaks about places I didn't even know exist in Grenada. When they're talking about Hapsack and they're talking about Castle Hill and Bel Air Estate and all these kind of places and so. Yeah? And it specifically was speaking about Hapsack, Bel Air Estate and Castle Hill. It keep going back to those areas and so as possible areas with potential because there seems to be a well, the lava well under it that's heating up the water and so on. So those are potential areas. Yes, you will have to do some drilling and that sort of thing. You will have to do some drilling. So she's correct on that one. But the excuse that they're trying to use is when we speak about this now is that NNP didn't want to do it and NNP wasn't interested in it. After the New National Party passed that act in Parliament that gave other companies the ability to come into Grenada and produce electricity, because the 1994 agreement that Mr. Tillman Thomas and the NDC went and signed with WRB ensured that WRB was the only company that could produce electricity in the state of Grenada. Nobody else could come in and set up and say that, look, they want to produce electricity. Grenlec already has the grid. We're going to pay and we're going to pump our electricity into your grid. And when somebody pulls out from the grid, then we're going to charge, you charge us for using your grid, and we charge the person according to what the meter say they pull out from the grid. They don't have to go and set up a set of lamp pole already that they could have worked along with Grenlec. According to the agreement they signed in 1994, not even that could have happened. So anybody that was interested in coming in Grenada and provide clean energy, as to say they come and go geothermal or they come and do solar power, they could not do it. They could not do it because the stupid agreement that was signed in 1994 took the ability away from any other company but WRB from being the producers of electricity within the state of Grenada. In fact, technically, it was illegal for you to use a generator. Technically, in case a lot of people didn't know. Technically, it was illegal to use a generator. Many people found out the hard way when they went and they installed solar panels back in the day, and then they were approached by Grenlec that tell them, no, all you can't do that. All you cannot produce electricity. We are the only people to produce electricity. So you know what Grenlec did? Grenlec told them that, look, you have to put 2 meters. So 1 meter, you have to, all the electricity you produce, you have to send it back into Grenlec grid. So they had a meter for that. So all your electricity, instead of going into your home, was going back to Grenlec, and then Grenlec, you was taking electricity from Grenlec, but you was getting it at a reduced rate because you was putting electricity into the grid. You know why? Because the agreement they signed in 1994 said that you couldn't do that. You couldn't just go and put up your solar panels and say you're off the grid and you produce electricity. So all of this is what the New National Party had to deal with. In fact, the Grenlec bill was one of the last bills that I myself spoke on in the Parliament of Grenada. That was one of the last bills that I spoke on. These people, the former NDC, had a clause inside of there that if Grenlec decide that you have a piece of land and it have water running on it at a reasonable rate, or you happen to have one of the sites that they need for geothermal. Hear what that agreement that they ain't talking about had in it, that the New National Party had to come and get rid of. It had in that the government of Grenada had to take your property and hand it over to Grenlec for nothing. So that the government of Grenada would have to acquire your property to produce electricity in the national good. Therefore, the government of Grenada had to compensate you. Whether it was 1 million, 2 million, 500,000, whatever it is, the government of Grenada had to compensate you. But Grenlec didn't have to pay the government of Grenada or anybody. The government of Grenada just had to hand it over to Grenlec for nothing. And you had big hardback man that say they're lawyers and intelligent in Grenada that stand up and sign that agreement. That is what we had to get rid of back in 2016. So in 2015, the study was done. In 2016, you went and deal with this. And then after what happened? WRB came. Because we made things more beneficial to the Grenadian people where you were in control of things. WRB took the New National Party administration to court. So even if you wanted to do geothermal at that point in time, you still had to go through them. You still had to go through because they had you in the court at that point in time. Because they forced a buyback clause that, again, some people who say there's lawyer and they have common sense. They sat there and they put a buyback clause that you must take back all the shares from WRB and you have to take it back at a price that they set, a market price that they set. Which means that you don't even know what you have to pay until the last minute. That is what they did. So when they come and they're talking, and so they must talk to the Grenadian people and tell them why they made such a disgusting deal. Yeah? That is what they must tell the Grenadian people. So this took place. You had 2018, 2019, you're in court. I think it's 2019 it ended or something like that. COVID hit you in 2020. You can't do nothing 2020, 2021, 2022 was election. At this stage, definitely the new National Party would have been moving forward seriously with geothermal. That's what you would have been moving forward with as one of the areas where you could have get some electricity to put into the grid. It may not have been able to handle the whole grid, but it would have reduced the cost of electricity significantly because as a renewable source, you didn't have to pay like you have to pay now for diesel for the generators. And then by the time you have solar and you put up enough solar plants or so, you may have been able to get, within a number of years, you get to 100%. Yeah? But you would have had coming into the system now because you have solar into the system now. I see them jumping up about they put solar in Carriacou. What do you know about solar in Carriacou? You come in, you meet something on your desk. It had to be done by a particular time. And it done by the particular time that happened in spite of and not because of you. But you see, these people like to give the impression that they know what they're talking about. And they don't. And that is why they go never like me. Yeah, folks. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. If they want a copy of the geothermal study, it took me exactly 2.5 minutes to find it online using Google. 2.5 minutes to find Grenada's geothermal study. Yeah, for the possibility of producing electricity through that means. 2.5 minutes it took me to find it. Yeah, and only because I was doing other things online at the same time. But 2.5 minutes, I'm giving you the exact time it took me to be able to find that. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Yeah, remember last year. And for those of you who have been, let me take this call and then I'll go back to that. We have a call online. Good night. Hello. Oh boy, that caller went off. Yeah, caller, give us a call back. I'm not sure what happened to you there. Yeah. Let me give them a second to see if they're going to call back. I'm not sure if something happened on there. It's not on my end. So I'm not sure if something happened on their end. We've been getting the calls very clear. But yes, remember last year, we were having a discussion when the issues started popping up on the Lagoon Road, year before and last year. And we were speaking about a greater development plan that involved a hotel in the space where the general hospital was. And remember, the government stayed very, very, very quiet in relation to that. Yeah? Remember, the government stayed, they didn't make noise. They stayed very, very quiet when we were speaking about the possibility of putting a hospital, the hotel where the hospital was. But understand why they really want to move the hospital. Understand it.
Oh, that's why we're here. We're going to put the hotel there after we... You with me? We're going to put the hotel there after we move the hospital.
No, they start to talk now. They're telling you exactly what their intention is. Yeah.
That's why we're here. We're going to put the hotel there after we... You with me? We're going to put the hotel there after we move the hospital.
I know AI, yeah, they fully intend to move the hospital, but that's not the only thing. That is not the only thing. And I'm looking for the other one here. Yeah, I'm looking for it here. I just want to make sure all you're understanding the thing, man. Because over a year, we've been telling you all that that is the intention. Yeah? That they really want the hospital site. It's not about providing better health care. It's not about putting any teaching hospital and so. Yeah? It is because the intention is for their friends, let me repeat again. Pull the mic closer. Their friends to get the space where the hospital is to put a hotel. We told you all that nearly a year now. Let me see if I could get something here. Let me just pull back something here. Nice.
Soon to be old hospital. It is a spectacular site, better suited for tourism development, better suited for hotels, etc. And so it might be a good opportunity for us, even when we're partnering with persons who may finance the hospital, to say to them, there's an opportunity for you to, in fact, build a hotel
Yeah, us, not the Grenadian people, us. Yeah, just understand the us in this case, because the us in this doesn't include me and you. The us in this is the friend.
Development better suited for hotels, etc. And so it might be a good opportunity for us, even when we're partnering with persons who may finance the hospital, to say to them, there's an opportunity for you to, in fact, build a hotel on what is, and you know they used to call it the colony or the colonial hospital, what is the old hospital site. So it could be part of, the Attorney General isn't here, but it could be part of the cornerstone of redeveloping the historic part of St. George's.
Oh yeah, And once again, I want you all to hear exactly from the Prime Minister, because I told you all, that's why I've been telling you that over a year now. That is why they want the old hospital site. That's why they want the hospital. They already have their friends whom they would like to pass it on to. Yeah?
Of the old, soon-to-be old hospital. It is a spectacular site, better suited for tourism development, better suited for hotels, etc. And so it might be a good opportunity for us, even when we're partnering with persons who may finance the hospital, to say to them, there's an opportunity for you to, in fact, build a hotel on what is, and you know they used to call it the colony or the colonial hospital, what is the old hospital site. So it could be part of, the Attorney General isn't here, but it could be part of the cornerstone of redeveloping the historic part of St. George's.
No, it's not about redeveloping. Is that all your friends? Listen, there's something taking place right now, There's something taking place right now. Let me pull off that, and you want to see. Right. Now, what is taking place right now? Very senior members of the executive and cabinet of Grenada are buying up bits and pieces of land all over. Now, they are strategically buying certain pieces of land. Because if a senior person within the National Democratic Congress at this point in time, who has suddenly gained significant wealth within the last 2 years, all of a sudden they're multi-millionaire, so that they could buy 6 different pieces of land all over Grenada. But here's what. They're buying land that adjacent to lands that this government has plans to develop with something else. In other words, they're insider trading. Because if you know beforehand that this government is going to acquire, let's use St. Mark as an example. In this week's government gazette, government is acquiring land in certain parts of St. Mark. And if you were to go and check and realize or recognize that certain senior members of the NDC have purchased land immediately adjacent to that, and that the government has purchased these lands in St. Mark because they intend to do a project, then you know what happening? Other people setting up themselves to make a money, because either know that they are the owner of the adjacent land, the government will then buy that land from them, the land that they just buy the other day, government will buy that land from them to put together with the set that they have to do whatever project it is that they're doing, or they can set up a business in tandem with whatever government is doing there. Let's say government is going to be doing, for instance, let's say they were going to do a mini hospital up there. Yeah? So that you set up a guest house or something close by so people can stay. And this is what is taking place right now. So you have some of them. All they had was family land before, but right now they name on about 7 pieces. And then they're taking girlfriend and wife and put on how much piece again. Just remember, the integrity in public life legislation is very clear in relation to this. When you declare, you must declare for you, your wife or your husband, and any children you have under the age of 18. But some of them using that as a ploy. They're going around that because it's not wife, it's girlfriend, it's boyfriend. So all sorts of things taking place when it comes to this thing. I tell all you, they would not like me saying it as it is. All right. I'm telling all you, that is what is taking place. Yeah? So you're seeing government acquiring land, and you wonder, government acquiring land, they wonder why. Government is going to do projects in those places. But you also realize just before government acquired those pieces of land, certain NDC senior people and deep-pocketed activists buying the property adjacent to it. Anyway, 440-7377, 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. There's also the aspect of this that the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers spoke about. I'll come to the phone line just now. The Grenada Union of, not Grenada Union of Teachers, no, not that idiot. Not Judas Jude. Yeah, the president of the Public Workers Union, Mr. Brian Grimes, spoke about. There is, and people within the government system are telling you plainly, there is a clear intent by this administration to privatize the Ministry of Health here in Grenada. Clear intention. They are maneuvering and they're twisting. Now, they do not want to place nurses fully into the government system, and there's a reason they don't want to do that. There's a reason that they have given the nurses and nursing assistants and so contracts instead of making them permanent. There's a reason for that. And the reason is this, that if they privatize, in other words, if they work with a private partner and they privatize, they have to treat all those nurses, according to the labor code and the law, they would have to treat all of those nurses that they have made permanent, they would have to treat them as being retired at that point in time. If government has a ministry and it closed down that ministry, it no longer has need for that ministry. The people who are working in that ministry have to be treated as though they retired out of the service, even if they don't make the number of years. They have to be treated just as a retiree, you know. They have pension, all kind of thing, you know. There are payments they get. You have to treat them like a retiree, even if they don't make the number of years for a pension. So this government, knowing full well that their intent, although they wouldn't be there to do it, but their full intent is to privatize the Ministry of Health. They are not making the nurses and other auxiliary staff in the Ministry of Health. They're giving them contracts, a year, 2 years. That's the kind of contracts they're giving them. Last time they called some, tried to make them sign a backdated contract to 2 years ago. They call them in and give them a few hours and tell them they must sign it and bring it back. So with that now, if these individuals continue just signing these contracts and going back into the system in that way, whenever they privatize healthcare in Grenada, these people have nothing to get. That is what they're doing. We have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead, caller.
The thing Grenadian stupid like 2008 and 2002 or what happened before, we know all what's going on. And they ain't getting through with that this time because we're going to take the street of Grenada. You explain that thing we stupid. We ain't stupid. And the lady with you talk about the thing they were just now with Grenada, the thing to what do you call it again, boy? I can tell you.
Geothermal, yes. Geothermal energy, yes.
Yes. So in that thing we going. She line all them NDC when they coming forward the line. They're going down the same road, and we ain't taking it slow this time. All right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Yes, they lie. Yeah. So, folks, understand what is taking place there. Once they are able to keep these workers, these categories of workers, who they promised in the election campaign, they were specific to speak to nurses and people in the healthcare profession. You had who say that they can't sleep and it's hurting them because of the situation. So, because of that, you have a situation where these individuals are now being kept on contract and kept on contract simply because they have an intention to privatize. And if you listen carefully to the Prime Minister at last week's town hall, you would recognize when he's speaking about, so one, they're looking to move the hospital from where it is and get somebody there to build a hotel. They already know the somebody. They not to look for no somebody. They already know who's the somebody they want to get at, because we've been telling you that for a year now. So they already know who's the somebody that they want to give that area to go. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they already have drawings, because I've seen drawings. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have drawings for what has to go there or the possibility of what going there. You think what took place on Lagoon Road took place just so? It is all part of a broader strategy and plan. And it's for their friends. You think they ain't even looking at the port itself? Yeah, the port, not the cruise port, the port itself. The cruise port included for another bigger project, but the port itself. So all those areas are being looked at. But it's not being looked at in the best interest of the Grenadian people, so development in the best interest of the Grenadian people. It's being looked at the fattening of the pockets of all the senior people within the National Democratic Congress. And then you have the supporters, the ones who are out there, who call program and cuss people and who they saying all sorts of nasty things all on social media and so. And they ain't getting nothing. They ain't getting a thing. But those others who they cussing for, making sure that they shoving a 20,000 in one pocket and they shove a 30,000 in the next pocket. And then when the pants full, they go and they change pants and come back with the next one to stuff their pocket again. That is what's taking place. And some of them are even recognizing what is going on with them. So you have committee for the new hospital and all kind of thing. You said over 1,000 people applied. Over 1,000 people applied to be part of whatever government is doing and to go on the different committees and so on. Over 1,000 people applied. But you're hearing the same names cropping up and everything. So Grenada Development Bank, where government ministers illegally go in and get money. Let me say it again. Because the new National Party said it to the IMF. The civil society said it to the IMF. The Grenada Development Bank, where these different people are going, government ministers are going and illegally get money. We have a caller online.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, I want to give us some information about the meeting with the parliamentary rep.
Mm-hmm.
We bring forward the meeting to the Wednesday, right? The Wednesday the 27th. So the information is the people of St. John Northwest are invited to a meeting by the parliamentary rep, Dr. Kit Mitchell, so that that meeting will be taking place at the Harphill Secondary School at Wednesday the 26th of June at 6 p.m. So everyone in St. John Northwest are invited to turn out to that meeting. Other speakers will be there to address us about the information of what is taking place in the country, where our country is going on, the precipice of our country is going down. So we are asking the people of St. John Northwest to come out to the meeting Wednesday the 26th of June. The meeting will start at 6:30 p.m. at the Harphill at 6 p.m. at the Harphill Secondary School. Bus will be made available to take people to the meeting and take them back to their home. Because we know when we come to the meeting, we get information that is true, not take information of what is going on in our country. Brother Sheldon, so as time draws closer, we will give more information will going out about the people to remind them about the meeting. So that's why they come out and listen to what the commission, other speakers, we have to say about the situation in our country.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
Thank you, Brother Sheldon.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Yeah, so don't worry, man. Yeah, that's what's going on happen with the hospital. They go move it. But just remember, you got to come with your money waving like a flag before you get service in the healthcare system, not just the general hospital, because they're looking to partner with other organizations. And these organizations are not going to partner for free. They are not going to partner for free. They're going to partner where there is some sort of financial benefit. So just understand that that is what is taking place. Yeah? And just remember that the minister ain't no flight attendant. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night. I'm not singing Calypso. See the balling with the mouth closed. Take transformation in the... Tell and I want to tell us something tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might see me in the news tomorrow, please God, too, because I've been saying no more than people will be down here in fish market tomorrow, please God, about 10 o'clock.
Oh, the same situation. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not speaking for the vendors. I'm speaking for my right. The big hole is a problem. The board is a problem. No, they got all them grill and them make it more worse.
So they move all the grill?
They move us from the grill today.
But you'll break your ankle in that. If you're
But
not paying
for
attention,
my
you'll break your
right,
ankle.
Sheldon, tomorrow when MTV come down tomorrow, episode, fire going to light. Because I go say what I have to say and people won't like me. Time enough for to do something. Time enough for to do something to that. I pay my dues every week, 500-600 every week. And I'm not getting the proper facility to stand up to sell my fish. I find time for the minister, whosoever in charge, to come and see the place.
Has the minister ever passed by?
Well, that minister, I don't know, Because anytime they ask them things, they don't know. Because it's a shame on them. Only when election coming around, we see they passing on and they greeting people. But I is one big fish. I ain't taking no bait. I'm not taking no bait. Not only when election coming and they agree other things and one thing. No, come and see the city. Come and talk to the vendor. Come and have a meeting with the vendors. They're not doing that. Some of them they want to open them more, but they see my more boss. So I know somebody listening to me and your program, but I don't care. So tomorrow we got to go hear more on MTV tomorrow. Have a good night.
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed, folks. 4407377. So, yeah, I've seen some folks have been asking me if I saw the King's birthday honors and some of the people there. And you would recognize that for the New Year's honors, I think Mr. Tillman Thomas, yes, he received his accolades in that. And then now you have another leader, former leader of the National Democratic Congress, getting her accolades in this list. Yeah, so it seems as though they could only find former leaders and people who are considered to be NDC. I know about the rest of the people on the list, but you know Miss Joan Purcell is a NDC. I mean, nobody ain't asking if what or but about it. She's a NDC. Yeah? So you couldn't even chook a look at NNP inside there, boy. You couldn't take a look at NNP member of parliament, former member of parliament who has done so much for Grenada and chook them inside there. Oh, goodness, man. Yeah? So they take, and look how they're doing it, because remember, the government here has to make the recommendations. The king don't know anything about Grenada. He ain't choosing just so, and the governor general would work on the recommendations of the government for the birthday honors list and that sort of thing. So when you see back-to-back two former leaders of the NDC, you know how these people thinking. They don't care about nobody. And I'm not saying that the people are not deserving. I'm saying, but all you couldn't even stick in another NNP or something inside there. Or they just stick it. Papa, all you good. All you real good. But it's a good thing too, because Grenadians seeing you all stripped bare. They are seeing you all for exactly who you all are. They are seeing you all stripped bare before them in all your naked glory. And they know exactly who and what you are right now. Yeah? So next time, when they're going to vote, no cookie eye. Straight. Yeah, folks, I wonder if I could play something else here. Let me see if I could play something else. People don't like me to play certain thing, Yeah, they just get vexed when I play different thing. All right, let me see if I can play this one. I want to ask a question on this one. Yeah, I want to ask a question on this particular one. I'll ask the question after, but let me just listen to something and then I'll go ask the question after.
Those buildings and to put them into use, because now we pay such a high rent as government for buildings and so to house people. Even we need some storerooms and all these things that we have to pay rent all the time.
Right.
If we can refurbish those buildings and make use of them, that will be a step in the right direction.
All right.
So folks, you have him saying there that government shouldn't be paying rent all the time, and so if they have buildings, they should refurbish them and make proper use of them. Isn't that what the minister saying? That is the minister implementation, by the way. Yeah.
Those buildings and to put them into use, because now we pay such a high rent as government.
Well, you pay such a high rent. Could one of it be for the Prime Minister's residence at $24,000 a month? So we hear, we don't know. Tell us. Because it have a Prime Minister's residence sit down empty there with bush growing around it, Benio.
For buildings and so to house people. Even we need some...
To house people, no. Say Deacon Mitchell, I hope you hear when you say that, Yeah, you can't be talking about the man place where you Hey, well, Andy, you're looking to get yourself in trouble, huh? Okay, I think I say,
those buildings and to put them into use, because now we pay such a high rent as government for building and so to house people.
For building and so to house people. Okay, so you pay such a high rent for building and so to house people. We want to know if one of them is the place down in Montrouge. We want to know that, yeah?
No, we pay such a high rent as government for building and so to house people. Even we need some storerooms and all these things that we have to pay rent all the time.
Right.
If we can refurbish those buildings and make use of them.
So basically what you're saying is that paying rent thing, they don't making sense and thing. You understand? Yeah. You understand? You know? Yeah, you basically mean that paying rent thing ain't making sense. Well, let me see. I wonder if it have anything else we could play there about renting properties and all that kind of thing. Let me see if we could find something else to play about renting properties. Maybe we might be lucky enough to locate another clip with similar.
Walk around Sotes, you will see significant buildings in a dilapidated state that is owned by the people and state of Grenada.
Yep.
The government has in St. George's. The government has failed to maintain it, has failed to invest in those buildings, and instead it is renting properties all over the place. It is renting properties all over the place.
Almost don't make any sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. All right, so you have significant waste.
Terry, I think you and Kiri need to have that conversation with the Honorable Prime Minister. Yeah, about renting buildings when you have that ain't making sense, right? I think you all need to have that conversation with him. Yeah? Let me see it again. This was him when he was just leader of the party. He was not yet Prime Minister.
The government has, in St. George's, the government has failed to maintain it, has failed to invest in those buildings, and instead it is renting properties all over the place.
So anybody who lives close by to the Mount Royal, the official Prime Minister's residence, tell me if they're fixing it. Tell me if they're doing anything to maintain it. Tell me if they're doing a remodeling or rebuilding, and if soon we're going to see the Prime Minister going there, or if it's just a case of him being a hypocrite again. But anyway, let me hear.
It is renting properties all over the place.
Almost don't make any sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. All right, so
now he say that it don't make no sense. He and Terry, both of them say it don't make no sense. Let me hear them again. Let me see. Come nothing, behave yourself.
Any sense?
It makes absolutely no sense. All right, so you have significant wastage in those areas because there's no rationalization as to how you use government services itself. And it is sad because, to me, if we invest in properties that are already owned by the state, right, and we can maintain these properties, it allows the state itself to use them, and it allows the state to rent some of these buildings to private citizens so that the state itself can get revenue, right? And that we can then invest in things like our police stations, which are in terrible conditions. Right? Our healthcare centers, which in many instances need significant.
Oh, you know them thing and them they need fixing then? Okay, some officers might want to have a word with you about that right now. Yes, indeed. Folks, 4407377. One more time. Yeah, the last time and then I go move him. Okay, sorry, earlier. Last time.
Maintain it, has failed to invest in those buildings, and instead it is renting properties all over the place. It is renting properties all over the place.
Almost don't make any sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. All right, so you have significant wastage in those areas because there's no rationalization as to how you use government services itself. And it is sad because, to me, if we invest in properties that are already owned by the state, right, and we can maintain these properties, it allows the state itself to use them, and it allows the state to rent some of these buildings to private citizens so that the state itself can get revenue.
Yes, so what is taking place with the present Prime Minister's residence? Why do we have a present Prime Minister's residence for the Prime Minister and it is not being utilized? What is the developmental plan? There's nothing in the budget for the year 2024 or projected to 2025 in relation to that facility. So what is the issue? Yeah? But then you see, 44073773473293101. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program. You know, those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program.
Yeah, man. Well, you know he's the original fireman, champion in the cause of righteousness. Whoa. Nothing worse than corruption. Say that is the curse that's plaguing the island. From the top of the ladder, straight down to the bottom. Everyone caught up in self-indulgence. They really don't a time when straight people wouldn't bend. No. And when you see corruption trying to
And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Yes, Sheldon, you say I could have called back later.
Yeah, that's
I
no
just
problem.
called back to beg the people to pass and see what little I have. I have some bed sheets and little things selling out. People are selling that so I could get a little commission. So people pass and see what I have. I have little children clothes. I have little children clothes. I have little things. Pass and support. You will get a little pants for $20. You get a little shirt for maybe $10. And I know it's good stuff. And I have some bed sheets. You know, I have little things.
Hold on.
Pass and give me a little support. And I have a bottle. So come and drop off $5 or $1. That's for Mr. Scott. Yeah?
You have bed sheets? You have sheet?
I have some bed sheets, yeah. $80. I have to my daughter.
You sure now
and I have little things that's selling out. Because I have to pay me rent. Grenadians come and support me, scam me. Because I want to throw me out. Come. I helping some people, they bring things, come and I have to get a little commission. So come and support me. You get a little jersey for $10. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. My friend sent from America. And when I sell, they give me something for myself. You know?
Yes,
and I have a little water and things selling. And I have a little cocoa. I don't have time and ball it. I don't roll out it. I'm tired.
And we have
so
the
you
talking
come and
points.
give me a little support.
We have the
That's
talking
what I'm
points
begging
t-shirts.
for. I ain't begging for nothing else. Come and give me a little support. If you have money, come and watch and see what I have. And you could spend and have a bottle there. Put something in it for Mr. Scott. And I'll keep the faith. All NNPI keep the faith.
Of course.
Don't give up. Don't take no bribe. Because I could have taken a bribe if I want. I don't want that. Come and support me. And don't take no bribe from these people. They give you money. They promising people things. I don't want. So I'm begging me NNP supporters. And I have a lot of NDC supporters that supported me. You see them currently, Bossman, Marcos and them. Despite what, I have a lot of them. Give them what due to them. They always support me, Marcos. And them girls are guys. The NDC supporters, yeah, they don't support me. They always buy a little water from me. Oh, you're rough. Okay, rough. So please, I'm begging. Come and support me, please. Have a blessed night, everybody.
Thank you so very much, Gabby. All right. I said thank you so very much.
Thank you for allowing me to get a little free advertisement.
No problem.
What I
Anytime.
have.
Anytime.
Right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
You come up with a little $5, $1. We have to into help Sheldon. If I had money, Sheldon, I give you that money to give a lawyer to fight that case for you, but I don't have.
I know how
I'm
it goes.
struggling. And you know when in America, this is Miss Camille from Manjalo. Send to ointment, let me put on my foot. Send no ointment, give me boy. Thank you. Good night, America.
All right, Gabby.
Later.
You gotta love Cammy. Yes, and Cammy serious, and Cammy actually have a bottle there, and she making collection, and whether it's $1, $5, whatever people could put in it towards the issue at hand, she has the bottle there. And she also has some talking points t-shirts remaining, so those of you that have not yet gotten a t-shirt can check her out. I'm not sure on the sizes that remain, but she does have some that are remaining, and so I have as well if you want to contact me, but she does have some, so you can check her out as well. All right, so check out Cammy, right? She needs the money. All right, 440-7377. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. 347-329-3101. Yeah, Papa Jerry, get them, man.
Corruption, let's get rid of it. Corruption, the country will benefit. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Corruption, let's not sell we soul. Corruption, let the truth be told. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, folks, hey, watch. If they think that I would stop speaking about the issue out of Carriacou, they might be seriously they've seriously underestimated who they're dealing with. Folks, misbehavior in public office is something that people can be arrested for in nearly every country on earth. In some countries like North Korea and so, they bring you outside and you know what has happened, right? In China, they make your family pay for the bullet. In those countries, that is the kind of thing, that is how they deal with it. In other countries, non-Asian, over here in the Western Hemisphere, people are arrested and different things take place. That is misbehavior in public office. So if you do not do an investigation in relation to certain things, I've mentioned the case with Mr. Sebastian Steele and the proposed attempts on Skylark and Senator Nolan Cox. You all need to do a serious investigation. Yeah? What for FIU go and check? All you ain't sending FIU to check into it. Yeah? Because FIU need to be checking the cabinet of Grenada. That is who FIU need to be checking. FIU need to be checking the executive of the National Democratic Congress and those who have suddenly gone from 1,000 years to millionaires to multi-millionaires. That's who they need to be checking. The unexplained wealth that is ending up in so many of those bank accounts and so on. That is what they need to be checking. Yeah, you can check my bank account. It are not in it. That's it. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night to you, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right, you go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah, Sheldon, I just want to let these guys and them know karma is real, you know. I wonder if they know karma is real. Because karma is a thing when you take it, they're reaching in the bottom of the ocean and then jumping, you know. The wickedness these boys and them doing to the Grenadian people, it's not nice. Karma is coming for them. They campaign and they promise so many things that Dr. Keith Mitchell was not doing, and they will come and they will do so much. And now they're getting there and all they're doing is just making the Grenadian people suffer. I wonder where is the lady that was hugging him during the election and said, we seen trouble, you know, we seen trouble. I wonder where is that show she ballooned she mouth closed now. Come on. This is not nice. Everybody has to leave. Why are you doing these things? Deacon and his goons and them, I think it's time Grenadians need to get up. Get them out. They have to go. He talking about hospital. He ain't even maintaining the hospital that day he want to build new one. Where you put in it? He and Andy and tell us what and them he go put inside it? Come on. Grenada is in a mess. Deacon need to lose Grenada. He have Grenada tie up. And a lot of people don't realize that. Pastors and all cannot even speak. Such things going on in Grenada and everybody just keeping quiet. It's time Grenadians get up. It is not nice in Grenada. Deacon traveling, he going all over the place. Nobody know what he's going to do. Nobody know what he's going to do. And when he come back, he just coming back. He come today, he gone tomorrow. And nobody is saying anything. Everybody more just shut. And then when you speak, everybody figure no, it's like you have to pay license just not to talk in Grenada. But they wouldn't make me pay license for my mouth because I go keep talking. Because it is not nice. Come on. Grenada deserve better than that. These fellas and them want to bring back a revolution in Grenada. That is what they want to bring back. Because the guy came in Grenada the last time when Bishop was there and he tell him his enemy is in his footstool and they can want to be ending up the same way. It is not nice. It is not nice. I'm listening and then they're saying, oh, you're not in Grenada, you don't know what is happening. But I'm there, I'm listening. The people are aware, knowing everything more than who is in Grenada. Come on. So I just want to let them know karma is real. It's real. And when karma come for them, they're reaching in the ocean and they're doing jungling. First, they're wicked. So you, Sheldon, you have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my dear.
All the supporters, good night to you, Dr. Keith Mitchell, my beloved Prime Minister. And all the other ministers, Mrs. Pierre and Modest and Peters, everybody, good night to everyone. Have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you so very much. Olio, let me ask a question here. Olio, can explain to me, Why the MP for Carriacou is the only person wearing a mask? He hiding his face. I see. Well, we could see that Mr. Lacrette in pink. I don't know if he's what he had to do with pink, but yeah, I tell you, I stop wearing my pink shirt. I like my pink shirt. From the time I see this thing, I stop wearing my pink shirt. Yeah. So, but Mr. Lacrette in pink, and the the MP for Carriacou sit down next to illegal advisor, the Attorney General, it seems, and he hiding. You do have to hide your face, Mr. Minister. Walk brave now. Yes, boy, you had to hide my face too. 440-7377-347-329-3101. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night.
Hi. How was your day?
It was great, man.
How was your day?
It was great. Very busy and it
All
ain't
right.
done yet. When I go home, pile of work to do again.
Yeah, always be great, sir. Always be great, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
What I have to say now, you have a lot of people who turning cookie eyes in Grenada now. The eye turning real cookie. They can't see. They turning deaf ears. They cannot hear. I want Grenadians to open their eyes and see what's going on in the country. The country to love him for that. For this bunch of people to doing this kind of things in this country. You understand? They having press conference. What they having press conference about? For nothing. Have press conference for the lotto money. Have press conference for the Prime Minister who only traveling since he take government 24 months, for 10 years. 24 months. He never spent a whole month in the country. He never spent a whole month in the country. Why should he have conferences about that? What I have to say, she and the next talking point man, Kem Jones, I have to call his name. Kem Jones, what is the advisor? Advising them to do all wrong things. They're listening to what he say. And he say no, he had the people, he had it massive, like if he was running the government. Is he will have the government going like that? Is what he's saying on the radio. You understand? Why Claudette don't have the press conference about the people who dying? Eh? Look at the people, the boys and them behind in the market behind it. People can't even pass. People afraid to pass behind the market now because so much of things going on behind it. You understand? They won't put rules and regulation about that. Check behind the market. People afraid to pass behind it. Eh? Behind they turn up a gambler house. Right? You're passing there, you don't know respect for people, they only cursing and set a word when you're passing. And you don't have a right to pass there. You understand? Me and a young man was passing there behind the other day. Why you want? Eh? Why you want? The man say you don't passing back behind the again. You understand? They had knife threatening one another all behind the. Come on. What we country coming to? What we country getting to, sir? You understand? You talk about the machine, the drinks machine. What are they putting it? Where the poor man making a little dollar. Why they don't put it on the bus stop and things? Most bus stops, sometimes people go on the bus stop, they want a drink. You understand? That way they have to put it where you don't have people, where the people are go have a little business. They putting it right where them people have their business. Come on, man. Come on. What's going on in this country? What's going on? You understand? Look at the low-income house. I'm always talking about it. She had to have press conference about the low-income house. How much people would buy house? And how much people who could buy? All the house is empty. And Grenadian begging for a place to stay. They find it hard to give Grenadian the low-income houses. Come on, what really going on in this country, Sheldon? Sheldon, tell me, what really going on in this country?
My friend, what is going on in this country is a lot of wrong thing. That is what's going on in this country. A lot of wrong thing, and more people need to speak up. More and more people need to speak up. And
yes,
when the time comes...
We need to
Action
need
needs
to
to be
get
taken.
on the street. We need to get on the street. We need to get on the street and say enough is enough with this government. They need to go. They need to go. Deacon need to go. Deacon living on a plane. Every day he gone. As he reach, he gone. He afraid Grenadian. He afraid Grenadian. He don't want, he find we too black. You understand? Dubai, 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 Dubai. Deacon is Dubai, Dubai. You must stop say Prime Minister Deacon, say Prime Minister Dubai. His name is Prime Minister Dubai and not Prime Minister Deacon. Good night, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother. Yes, indeed. 4407377. And let me apologize to any of you that were calling on the local line because I had it engaged and I only realized when I tried to actually put off the... Anyway, but it's free now. 4407377 and 347-329-3101. Yeah. Misbehavior in public office is a serious offense. It can carry jail term, can carry other circumstances surrounding it, other penalties and so. But misbehavior in public office, like telling people go down to such and such a hotel. And you see, some people can't say things fake because they know people see them. So some people have been avoiding saying that things fake because they're afraid of what else people who see them might say. That's what I had to gauge out our seeing. We have a call online. Good night.
Yes, this lady that called and said about the people that got vote and the pastors and them. Is the pastors and them put them in on the sheldon? Because when you put on the radio before election again, that church praying on it, they bring a man from St. Lucia, wherever, in a house in
St. Vincent.
Grenville,
St.
do that
Vincent.
kind of witchcraft for kidnappers to go, putting our blood all over themselves. Where them pastors and them now? Where pastor, how they call him, Sanford, and them, where is them? They don't open their mouth and say nothing now. The most like Grenada, we too hypocrite. So anything we get, let me take it. We too hypocrite. That's how Grenada is. They fall for all kind of stuff. Look, he's talking about the houses, see the low income houses and the like a damn dummy. But look at the houses still they lock up. Nobody in it. What do they put people in it? They tell parents, government facility, they pay them $1,000 to have deacon in a house only. What do they fix the government house? Fix it and put them in it. Go in it so they go stop pay rent. They need to step up and do whatever. That's a line for Grenadians. Time for this line thing must stop. NEC have to go and they have to go. Good night.
All right, thank you. And let me just give an idea, folks, of what misbehavior in public office is. And let me see if I can find it. I had it here a short while ago. And let me see if I can find. The offense requires that a public officer acting as such willfully neglects to perform his or her duty and or willfully misconducts him or herself to such a degree as to amount to an abuse of the public's trust in that office holder without reasonable excuse or justification. In other words, it requires that a public officer, a member of parliament, he's also a public officer. He's paid from the public purse to carry out duties on behalf of the public. So he's a public officer. And or willfully misconducts himself or herself, I don't know which one he is, himself or herself to such a degree as to amount to an abuse of the public trust in that office holder. So while they are holding a particular office, they are doing things that is abuse to the public trust. So you tell a guy, go down there, put it on the government bill, I come in down, we go meet. Me, you and Pink, don't worry, we get the bed sheet. And look at me, in case they want more bed sheet, can me have bed sheet earlier? In case they need bed sheet, can me have? Nobody don't bring no bed sheet for me, I'm good. I'll buy me bed sheet for myself. Yeah, save up my $1,200 and buy a bed sheet. Don't. Can me have bed sheet? Or you could go buy Cabby and get a bed sheet. All right, without reasonable excuse or justification, because I would like to hear an excuse or justification. Yeah? Because, of course, when it comes to Carriacou people, there may be stories of people who have seen certain things in the past. When it comes to people here at some of the different hotel facilities, there may be people who have seen things that they may be willing to speak about and so on. So, I mean, if they want to say AI, well, launch an investigation into who created it. That should be easy to do. You all have state power. You all can do that. Launch an investigation because serious allegations have been made. So it's one or the other, some sort of investigation. You can't just sweep this under the carpet or under the bed sheet in this case. You can't sweep it under the bed sheet. Yeah? Come out. We want to know who is pink. Yeah, we want to know who is pink. Yeah, look pink. We want to know who is pink. Yeah? So come out. Tell us. So it's either that what has taken place is true and therefore the minister needs to resign and leave immediately. Let me repeat. If what is out in the public is true, the minister needs to resign and leave immediately. Leave. Go. Yeah? Leave. Grenadians might say forget any other sanction. Just leave. Right? And if it is not true, and you all know that it's not true, then launch an investigation. Search for the digital footprint. Yeah? You all have experts coming out and saying things. I saw one individual speaking the other day. He did not say that it is not real. He said that things can be made up and so on. But in this case, he's not saying if it's real or it's not real because he can't say that it is not real. Because all elements to it, and I'm making a fair comment here, aim towards it being very real. Yeah? And then you have people asking, well, if all you're bad, why don't you post it to all your Facebook? So I stupid to post that to my Facebook profile? With the nudity that is contained in that, my Facebook profile go get closed down, so I stupid then. Hey, what does do all you? Folks, and just to read this one quickly for you all before I leave. And it says the new National Party has engaged with the IMF. The new National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, did say that when he spoke to us on Thursday night. He did speak to us about the IMF. Yeah, the meeting with the IMF. In a significant engagement, delegates from the new National Party, including Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Honorable Emlyn Peck, Gregory Bowen, and Oliver Joseph, participated in the International Monetary Fund's Article 4 consultation on Grenada on Thursday, 12th June in St. George's, Grenada. This four-member delegation, approved by the NNP's executive, shared serious concerns about the current economic situation and the performance of the economy, highlighting the plights of citizens and businesses face. The team hopes that these insights will contribute to a broader understanding that will guide future economic policies. Some of the issues highlighted by the NNP team include the abuse of the CBI program, the misuse of state resources. Let me read that again. The misuse of state resources, cuts in social programs, reduction in the percentage required for the contingency fund, and alterations to the wage bill rule and implications. The NNP is committed to a truthful representation of Grenada's economic landscape to help shape strategies that aim to enhance Grenada's economic trajectory. In responding to the issues raised by the political leader, the IMF head of mission recognized the economic achievements made under the leadership of the former Prime Minister and NNP administration. The NNP party is satisfied with the outcome of our recent meeting and proud of the insights shared by our team with the IMF. The new National Party remains dedicated to its mission of fostering progress and prosperity for all Grenadians. All right, so that's from the new National Party, yeah? And folks, we're quickly running out of time. I won't be able to take any more calls because we're quickly running out of time. But just to let you all know this, yeah? We will be having our program up to Friday night as normal, into next week, normal thing, right? And we will be having our Friday night forum this week as well. I have to organize transport and thing, but we will be having our Friday night forum as normal. Those of you that can donate, please do so. The link has been shared in both the YouTube and onto the Facebook as well, the donation link. And those of you that are in town, you want to pass by Cami, go right ahead. Yeah, but we do need the donations now more than ever. Folks, that's all the time that we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. And I just want to make sure all of you give the program a like before you go. We have to like up the thing. Yeah, you have to give me a 200 day. Right, nice. Like up the thing before we leave. All right, nice. And before I go, I have one tune, because I want them to know. You see that tune? Let me play a tune there. Papa Jerry, I want to play a tune from you, man. Yeah, a 2024 tune I go play from Papa Jerry there. That's to let them know. You see me, I straight as an arrow. Me ain't going in other direction. They, me, my name can't calling them things. All matter. No.
Hey, it's only girls. It's only girls in my world. It's only girls. Only girls in my world. Every man want a good woman in their life. Lord. A common or matrimonial wife.
Well, folks, may even say it, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Now I'm out.
The time it start getting rough. She go sit with you, my friend, and discuss. She will discuss. When she day in love with you, that is a plus. Cause you are her protection, so put the woman first. I am a man who like plenty nice woman. Without a woman, I say I cannot function. The spiritual energy and the attraction. Oh, God does create such a good vibration. Yeah, woman does make me weak. Oh, God, the woman them so sweet. They does make my life complete. They does have me feeling fantastic. I love when they energetic. A bam bam that real and not plastic. I choose black if I have to pick. For black is original and it's authentic. Every man need a good woman in their life. A common or matrimonial wife. Every man want a woman faithful and true. One that would always be there for you. Even when the time it starts getting rough. She go sit with you, my friend, and discuss. She will discuss. When she day in love with you, that is a plus. Cause you are her protection, so put the woman first. In a man life, woman is very essential. Don't beat them up or say don't cause them at all. Don't let the girl ever call you an animal. A good woman to a man that is spiritual. Yeah, man should never flip. Only put your lip on woman lip. Be charismatic. Don't be afraid to buy expensive gift. She always deserve it. Make sure the house have food to eat. When she cook, thank her for it. That is to show how much you romantic. Lord, every man want a good woman in their life. A common or matrimonial wife. Every man want a woman faithful and true. One that would always be there for you. Even though the time it start getting rough. She go sit with you, my friend, and discuss. When she day in love with you, that is a plus. Cause you are her protection, so put the woman first. Woman is a creature very territorial. They don't like woman to mess with a man at all. No. Especially when the man flinging good loving. And he know how to roll the waist in a sweet timing. Yeah, they like man muscular. Hold them tight when you drop the hammer. With strength and good figure. Roll your waist like lightning and thunder. Stand up like an antenna. Because you're the woman protector. Don't you ever abuse her. Respect the queen, respect more than it, yeah. Lord, every man want a good woman in their life. Yes, a common or matrimonial wife. Every man want a woman faithful and true. One that would always be there for you. Even
gun when the time it start getting rough. She goes